Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to J3 Entertainment. You guys know what time it is.
Man, it's movie review time.
That's right. What we reviewing today, bro?
Snake Eyes. G.I. Joe Origins. Yeah.
I don't even have my dice.
I feel you, man. Knowing it's half the battle.
Go Joe. No, but for those out there that don't know how we like to review movies, we like to talk about the good and the bad.
And then we talk about our scenes and then we give a grade.
But most of all, we spoil movies.
Yes.
So this is a spoiler review because we don't have time to bite our tongues.
This is the way.
And hold it all in. Nah, we letting it all out. Like eating greens on a hot day.
There you go. You've been warned.
So, Ronan, where we going first? Good or bad?
Let's start with the bad.
All right. Start with the bad. G.I. Joe is, I think it's both our things.
Yeah.
But you invested more into G.I. Joe.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah.
So, do us the honors and go ahead and say you're bad. I want to hear this.
All right. So, again, knowing it's half the battle. So, here we go. First of all, I just want to say, still cliche to say, but the editing, we still have not figured it out yet. My God. Know when to cut and know when not to cut. That's the biggest gripe that I could say, and I hope directors moving forward hear it and listen to it. Editing matters, especially in an action movie.
Yes, it does.
It's just, that's key, because you got to sell the scenes, but you got to show it as well. And I'm not gonna say all the action in the movies like that. It's certain ones, and then it gets better as the movie goes on. But the editing is the lackluster point of this movie for me.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I think I could top that. Bad for me, honestly, was that the movie wasn't cliche enough.
Okay.
I thought the script should have just went straight cliche. It was boring at some times because we didn't care about what they were trying to give us. And for me to explain it to you guys is basically Snake Eye and Storm Shadow's origin. It had no depth. The depth was very modern, and it needed more to it. I needed more for the final act to actually feel something. And the script was just boring. It was like they were trying to try something new. And it was a lot of forceful situations in the script when it should have just been these kids come together, they grow up together, they train together, they live together, they eat together, and a betrayal happens where they have to fight against each other. It was just plain and simple. And they failed to give us that in this movie by trying to be different.
All right. I also think that there were certain things that could have been trimmed down a little bit. There are certain scenes where it was just like extra filler. It felt like deleted scenes that was thrown back in.
Yeah.
And they should have just stayed more focused on the Arashikage, and they were doing extra things that I felt should have happened later on down the line.
Yeah.
And this was kind of my biggest fear when we did our trailer reaction, that they don't move too fast into another project that leads into a Joe movie. But they kind of saved some stuff, but they were moving a little too fast, I'll say.
Yeah, and that goes into the script as far as Storm Shadow, him even getting his name. Call me Storm Shadow. Where'd that come from?
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
Snake Eye name was Snake Eye since the beginning of the movie. Like,
right.
I'm Storm Shadow. Like, you was sitting in your room thinking of a name to come up with. He got Snake Eye. That's really cool. Yeah. That's hot. I need to come up with something.
You're Tommy.
Tommy. Yeah, like I didn't like that. Another bad for me, and I'll make it really simple. Was just how the introduction of the Joe ended up coming about in Cobra. I thought it was going to be more climactic. I thought it was going to be a little bit more like, whoa. You know, when Scarlet showed up, it was like, okay, we know who that is.
Right.
But I thought it was going to mean something. Like, it was, a lot of the scenes were meaningless. Like, they didn't, that thunder that should have been there wasn't there.
Okay.
Granted, after everything was said and done.
Right.
It was cool. It was like, oh, his dad's a Joe. Okay, that's what's up. But
right.
It was something should have been more climactic. Like they should have showed after his dad died, you know, when the house burned down.
Man.
The Joes show up. Wait, we're too late. You know what I mean?
Top secret files right then and there. Shared it with the son.
You know,
your dad wanted, he kept this from you, but he said one day we would have to share this with you.
You know,
that cliche but tight.
Yeah,
that's
you know, and
they about to teach his son.
And I'm glad you said that. And it still goes back to my first gripe as far as not enough depth with the character Snake Eye.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like when you just take out a complete parent. His mother. Yeah. His mother should have been spoken of. He had a vendetta to kill somebody because they killed his dad, and he never once spoke of his mother, which I thought was very odd. Like, he didn't understand what a mother was like. Like I would have really enjoyed or really was I would have been very satisfied if his mother was from the clan of Storm Shadow, and that's how he ended up going there and growing up with Storm Shadow. That would have been really dope to see. Like he was just focused on his father the whole time. Was like, okay, I get it. But it was like, what about your mother? They could have said she got in an accident and died, or give me something that showed why he was so alone. This kid was on his own from like 9 years old.
Yeah.
This ain't Pokemon. So who took care of him, and how did he take care of himself? Was he a street rat, or did he go to an orphanage? You know what I mean? Like the Joe said, we couldn't find you. Like he's 10.
You got your Joes.
Exactly. But that's all. That's my gripes.
My last gripe, I will say, too early to dive into the fantasy elements and stuff. I felt like that was something that should have been saved and preserved for when we got a G.I. Joe team up.
Because Cobra.
Yeah, I wasn't ready to see fantasy. It was cool, granted, but I'm like, it took away from the ninja noir element of the Arashikage and stuff like that, because I like the ground-based, gritty tone that they set up. So when you brought all those supernatural fantasy elements in, it kind of took the realism out to a sense.
Yeah.
Granted, like I said, it was cool to see, but I felt like it was too early and too soon.
Yes.
Because that's something that the team goes against.
Yes.
That Arashikage going to deal with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I get why they threw it in there, because they wanted to, remind people, hey, this is the Joe, and we have our hands on the technology and things. And Cobra had their hands in everything. They were like Intel International, so that they did it right. It's just it was too early to show.
Yeah, much too early to show. Let's get into some goods, bro. What you got?
I will say I like this cast very much.
Oh yes,
Henry Golden's a star, and the shining lights for me was Andrew Koji, and I said it in the trailer. This man's a star. And not only is he an action star, he's a great actor too.
Oh yes,
I
felt his pain.
Yeah, just like from the jump when we saw him, I was like, okay, I'm interested. I care about what's going on over here. And then the history that he was like dropping on the audience was cool. Like just bringing us into Tokyo, Japan. Like that whole setup was dope. I appreciate the culture bound, showing that, making Japan a character, seeing the ninjas train, seeing their history, seeing them break down the respect, the brotherhood, the camaraderie. We learned some things, and this is stuff that they didn't even show in the cartoon.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And I'm glad that they put a modern spin on it, because I was a little worried, like, would they even be able to do that? But we see that they can.
Yeah. It's
just how they went about it. But I like the risk that they did take, because they did do something fresh and new. Even I was like, oh, okay, that's an interesting choice you made.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, but I felt like if the depth was there, then the new takes would have mattered even more. Because the Storm Shadow and Snake Eye beef really was kind of like, I met you last week. And
that's part of the cliche. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, well, you're not even, like, it should have just been like, you were my brother. Like, yo, and Storm Shadow wanted power, and he refused to go the traditional ways, because that's where I thought he were going when he was like, things have changed, we have to move with time.
Right.
I'm thinking that's just turning point.
Right.
Nah, he was traditional. It was Snake Eye that was doing all the crooked stuff, and I thought that was dumb to do. And then Snake Eye would have to fix what he messed up and come back and fine, get out of my. I didn't like that. I didn't like the way.
Okay.
But I will say this: a good for me. Obviously, the action scenes. We all seen the trailers.
Yeah.
The choreography, like you said, was phenomenal. Especially towards the end. One of my coldest scenes.
Yes.
Well, I won't go on scenes yet, but I will say I like the team ups. We had a lot of team up battles.
Yes.
And I like that, because we were able to see what the Joes can do. We even had a female team up, male team up, Snake Eye, Storm Shadow team up, Blind Master, Hard Master team up, and you got to see these teams work together, and it was kind of alluding to G.I. Joe versus Cobra.
Yeah.
Like you even had an alliance with Cobra and what's her name?
Baroness.
Baroness.
Yeah.
You got to see Baroness and Scarlet make an alliance. Like, yo, we got to work together to get up out of here.
At this point in time.
Yeah, because they tripping.
Yeah.
And that was cool to see that, and knowing that Baroness knew that at the end of the day she's still a criminal, and she was like,
right.
I'm gonna get away, right? I'm gonna give you a head start.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I like that. I like the chemistry between that and the team ups and the action part.
The alluding to, going to their rivals and going to their criminal ways. So that was cool. And I like the infiltration and the secrecy behind Cobra. That was cool.
Yes.
How they have their hands in everything, giving us that boogeyman business, corporate, greed aspect. that was tight because Cobra knew a lot about those things, and I'm glad that they touched on that. They said we got to go international. Like American products is not going to keep working.
Question.
We need high tech.
Me and you go way back like wave caps. Got a question. Do you think Cobra is one of the head founders or the person that finances Terry Silver and Cobra Kai?
Probably.
Military base?
Yes.
Vietnam?
Yep. Martial arts?
Yep.
Students? Funding? Yep.
Turn them bad
Yep.
and
Of course.
because
it's all canon.
You know, I mean, Kreese went and said he was doing jobs.
Yeah.
He do like a G.I. Joe character.
We did see flashbacks too.
Bruh.
Knowing it's half the battle.
Bro, all right. I'm just saying, Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
That's how deep it is. See? Infiltration.
The 80s was just like, they weren't even trying. Like,
Nah.
we was going to just put everything going to have a universe.
But that's part of the cliche and tropes of the genre, and that's another thing I appreciate. Thank you for that. I love that this movie acknowledges that.
Yeah.
And they throw it at you, so if you really followed and watched those genres, you'll catch them.
Yeah.
And they do it in such a cool, modernized way because ever since this movie, we hadn't had a modern-day ninja movie since Ninja Assassin.
Right.
So they used this toy property to kind of bring that back. And it had some fun to it. And it had a little cheese to it. It's just that they couldn't find their footing as far as, keeping it grounded. So I like that they let you know, like, hey, it's fantasy, but we're going to go this route. And, hey, this is a toy line, but we're going to give you the military, but you're here for the ninjas. Mm-hmm. And I love how they kept the consistency with the ninjas. And then we got a little bit of Yakuza. So you got little subgenres of Hong Kong action movies in there. And I thought that was pretty challenging to do because I thought we were just going to see ninjas, but we got gangs and Yakuzas.
Yeah.
You got car chase and stuff. So you had different types of action, and then you had different types of genres in this one movie, which I liked.
Yeah. And that blended well to me.
Yeah.
It's just that, it goes back to that depth of the characters.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see the Ryu Ken, adopted.
No, that's a great example.
Come in.
I love that.
And they grow up together. That's what I really was looking forward to. And then, they meet again, and that's the whole point. He's like, I want you to kill him. And
and Cobra and them will obviously be the Bison and the Sagats.
Yeah, the whole
Zartan and all them.
The whole scenario, how it all came about was clever, but I thought it would have been more brotherly. Like, that's your brother, bro. Y'all, he let you in, because your moms and your dad, that would have been tight.
A little passing of the torch.
Yeah.
But keeping the generation respectful.
Absolutely. Let me see. A good for me. Well, it's just simple, man. It's just just seeing the G.I. Joe characters. I think they chose the proper characters.
I was excited. I'm not gonna lie.
To roll in this movie, and they didn't overdo them. Iko coming in, bro. Finally, we get to see Iko on American screen actually fight.
Thank you,
bro. Like I'm tired of them bringing Iko to the American screen, and he don't kick nobody. Iko's cold, bro.
And we saw it.
You heard that?
Yes. And we saw it. Yes.
Spontaneous right there, bro.
Yes.
He's cold, bro.
I appreciate that. That's
Hard Master, bro.
That's Kenji Tanigaki.
Bro.
That's him. Thank you.
Bro. He's cold, bro.
Shout out to second unit.
Woo!
Yeah, his role was very minimum, but he came in when necessary, and he added to the source. I love that.
Blind Master, bro.
Yeah,
man, coming in with
the supporting came in when necessary, and they added to the lore and the history. And I love how we got little teasers and snippets of G.I. Joe and underplay. And I love how we got, betrayal and conspiracies. We got little pieces of it.
Yeah.
As things is going on. Like, dang, already? Like, people getting betrayed already? Like, all right, this is
like day and night.
That's G.I. Joe stuff. This is what Cobra does.
Yep.
And I love how they showed the high advanced technology of the Arashikage. How they had intel as well. Mm-hmm. And this is what made G.I. Joe want to step their game up, too. But when Arashikage saw what they were doing over in the West, that's what made them want to step there. So they were both playing the fields, trying to trade and see what they could get.
Best in the West. You understand?
That's crazy. So we're seeing the setup already, but it was still focused on the Arashikage, and I like that because they could have took over and said, like, hey, this is a G.I. Joe movie right now, but they didn't do that. They teased it as it was going on, and I appreciate that.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Leaving something that you asked for more. They did that cool.
Blind Master is fire. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Dope.
I liked Akio. That was another supporting
Yeah, she
character
was
I
really
liked.
nice. She was really nice.
Baroness, great cast on Baroness, exotic and kick ass. Like really brought something new. Like really brought the
Them
character to
heels,
life.
them stilettos she had on, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know how
accent
she
was
was
on
running on.
point.
She was running on
Yeah.
GI Joe stuff. All right, let's get into some scenes, man. Just throw a couple scenes in. Go ahead, you go.
Dude, I'm going to go with the when we get to Tokyo, Japan. I thought that was great. Just seeing the culture bound and seeing the Arashikage family, seeing the respectfulness, just us learning as Snake was learning,
Yeah,
and him seeing family again for once. You know, in a new kind of family in a new setting. Him actually being an outsider and them acknowledging that him being a gaijin.
yeah,
That was cool. And then also seeing how loyal Storm Shadow was. I love how we got to see the villain side of him, but the wholesomeness of him.
yeah.
Because we got to see motivations and we got to see him be betrayed as well too. So when we got to Japan, we saw another person of him because in the beginning he was just another criminal that was trying to survive.
You just unlock something else.
Yeah.
I gotta say it, not to cut you off,
No,
but
you good,
that's
you
another
good.
thing with Storm Shadow. Like his grandmother was there. Where your daddy and your mama at?
Right.
Like that would have been the brotherly thing. You lost both your parents.
Now-
I lost both my parents.
I was gonna. You just opened something for me right now. So I'm not saying that this is true or anything. I'm going off a theory and just my movie skills. I was thinking that they were killed in combat and that they were Arashikage, and it was kept a secret so that he wouldn't want to betray the Arashikage. They wanted to keep him in the family. So in order to do that, they had to make him believe that he was the first of his generation
right.
to do that. So had they told him, he would have rebelled
Right.
and wanted to be outcast and leave.
Right.
Then. So I just took it as upon his parents were Arashikage and they died in combat. They were part of the OG generation.
All right, I got
And
something
he's
for
next
you.
of kin.
You just unlocked something for me.
All right.
All right, so check
Yeah.
this out.
All right.
So, what was his name? Bright Sword? What was his dad name?
Yeah.
It was, what was it? It was some sword.
Yeah.
All right, so his dad, right? Snake Eye's mother was part of the clan, right?
Yes.
Snake Eye's older than Tommy,
Yes.
right? So, what if Snake Eye's mother had Snake Eyes and had to flee back to the clan, got with Storm Shadow's father, who was obviously head, had Storm Shadow, and they technically were brothers. And
I'll buy it.
that's why the grandmother favored both of them.
It was
Because she
open.
was the
Yeah.
grandmother of both of them, without
Right.
both of them knowing that they actually were blood brothers.
That would have been dope. That would have been a nice
And
shot.
mother had to die
Yeah.
because of the disgrace that she put on the family
Right.
by being with an outsider and having an outside child.
And that could have been what tore the clan apart then.
and
they
then
had to rebuild.
and then bring the dad in. His Storm Shadow father killed himself because of the disgrace that he had to endure.
Right.
That his wife or the woman he was bound with left him for an outsider, and that's why grandmama brought, bruh, this movie's still too easy. I need to
Yeah.
get paid, bruh.
Yeah.
That would have been way better.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would have actually made them brothers.
Because now you got two different families becoming one.
Because you treated it as, Snake Eye was Caucasian again. You made him Asian.
Right.
So by making him Asian, now you got to come with some Asian stuff now.
Yeah, you got it. Now you got to
If
embrace
it's
the good shit.
Caucasian, then you just go with this and just go out the win. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna make him Asian, man, you could have made it much deeper. All right, let me go. I'll throw a scene I
He
did
could
not
have
like.
already been connected in that sense. Yeah.
A scene I didn't like and has to go down to the fantasy and mythology was the snakes. I thought that was a waste of time in the way. For me, the movie did not really kick off until after the snake scene when she
Okay.
saved him.
Yeah.
Then after that, movie didn't stop.
Yeah.
Go ahead, when I seen it.
I will also say I like when they're going after Kenta in the city and we get to the rooftops and you see like the first like main mission and Snake is kind of in the middle and he's kind of doing his infiltrate shit and he's basically trying to figure out like where they're going. He's trying to get the stone, the little what do you call it? The little emblem.
Yeah.
And they're going on that scene. And then they had the fight scene on the rooftop and you see the tactical and you see the stealthness of the ninjutsu. That was pretty cool. They found a way to modernize it, and I felt like that was very cartoon style action to do.
Yeah.
That was really good stuff. Very handheld, good stuff.
Scene for me because I know we ain't got a lot of time, but I'm gonna go in and put it together. A scene for me was Grandma, with the fans, bruh. I need Melina to do that in the next Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen a chick like blind a dude with one fan and kill him with the other. Like you ain't gonna see your death.
Right.
Yeah. She was tearing them up.
Yeah.
And then it was that Baroness and Scarlet when Kanto was sitting there with his minions.
Yeah.
And it was just like, man.
The
It
real
was
stuff
like
just
that
came
was
in.
some real stuff. Like
Cobra
I'm not
just
going
came
to
in.
fight this guy with no leg. You got leg work. I got guns.
Right.
So I'm finna kill you right now.
That was smart.
That was
real
straight logic.
realistic.
I love that logical tactic.
But that's when the G.I. Joe stuff started coming in because he's like, oh, the ninjas got guns too.
Bruh.
Like that was pretty dope.
And how blind man was just
Yeah.
the action, the fight scenes, the team ups were on point with
Yeah.
this movie. The whole I was feeling that sword. I loved
got
it.
that real American hero moment.
Yeah.
In Japan.
I felt it.
It's great.
I felt it.
I will also say
Black people be running.
Man.
We in Japan too. We thick,
the car chase scene. Tight.
bruh.
Tight. Video game, cartoon, all in one. Like that whole setup, that set piece, that was a great place to do a shootout, sword fight, and going from car to car. That was some good stuff. That was hot.
Man, she was on it, bro.
The motorcycles, the costume designs, the set pieces, like where action took place, was great.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a great place
Yes.
to have an action scene. Like
Absolutely.
that stuff was very well planned out. I liked all that. And I also like the setup for future movies. I hope we get more.
Yeah.
There's work to be done, but I like the setup and where they leave us off at because I was like, yeah, I want more.
All right.
I want more.
Well, it's time to give a grade. Snake Eyes, Ronin, where we going, bro? What you give Snake Eyes?
I like this origin movie. I like that it was a straight Arashikage movie. I like that it was a ninja noir movie with espionage, like I predicted. I got that. Editing's still kind of the weak part of this movie, and I'm an action junkie. I got to give it a C+. I enjoyed myself, but I need a little bit more. If this is a decent, good start, I need y'all to step it up in the next one. Do not do a G.I. Joe movie after this. I need 2 more Snake Eyes movies, and then we could talk about G.I. Joe.
Or at least give me some G.I. Joe members.
He still has learning to do, and I'm appreciating how they did that by giving him the suit at the end.
Yeah.
Good, fun movie. I need more, though. C+.
Got you. Well, you already know where that's going to go. So, G.I. Joe, I thought it was boring in certain parts. Needed more depth with the character. Action scenes were on point. I'm glad we got to see Iko put it in work. Blind Man was doing his thing, bro.
Yeah.
Just the action portion was really there. It just was very boring in a lot of parts. It didn't kick off for me until after the snake treatment, and then that's when it took off. For me, I'm a couple points under you. I'm gonna give it a solid C.
Okay.
I will watch it again because there's things about it that you might have missed.
Facts.
But it does have a fan base rewatchable value just to figure out where they're gonna go with Snake Eyes. But for the most part, it wasn't a bad movie at all. My kids loved it. My son was all about it, and I had fun.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and push that subscribe button. Thumbs up this video. Don't forget to share Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. If you've seen Snake Eye, put in the comments down below. What did you give Snake Eye and why? Ronan be in there. I be in there. I would like to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know who I am, I'm J3.
I'm Ronan Shogun, Ninja Assassin. Power.
And we out.
Is your mom there?
No, I'm home alone.
Well, you won a prize. What's your address?
42 Oak Street. Hey, Roblox, some stranger's bringing me a prize.
A stranger, huh? All he wanted to bring you was trouble. Remember, never tell anyone you're home alone, and never give anyone your address.
I'll say Mom can't come to the phone.
Smart thinking,
Now I know.
and knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!